I think the coolest part about being almost 31 is that I don't have to fill in the blank. But really, what I don't have to do is allocate my energy and time to people who don't respect it, don't value it, don't deserve it. Like, that sounds super bitchy, right? But the truth is, it's not just me. It's all of us. We don't have to. We don't have to spend time in back and forth conversations with people who just might never get it. We don't have to spend energy caring about what somebody on the internet thinks of us, right? Unless you've established a relationship with somebody and like you actually care in real life what they think of you, you don't have to. You just don't have to. You don't have to expend your energy in places where it's not deserved. Does that make sense? So I'm doing a lot of work in my personal life with maintaining my energy, generating good energy, putting off good vibes, I'm not into any sort of like ritualistic thing, but what I really want to be doing is, be truly living out like the person I see myself as in my head. I'm like, I love people and I love whatever. Does that match like how I'm actually doing my day to day? And the benefit for me is that I have a staff at work that will tell me that, what their perception of me is. And oftentimes it's kind of sad because it's like they think that I'm, closed off or hard to communicate with or whatever. When I'm in work mode, that might be true. So I'm doing a lot of work on my personal energy and how I am making other people feel around me and what I'm taking from certain situations. So I don't have to carry on a conversation with somebody who has repeatedly hurt my feelings for the last several years. I don't have to. I don't owe that person anything anymore. Never did. And honestly, like staying in a situation like that hurts me more than it helps the entire situation. So it's like beating a dead horse. I hate that phrase, but what are you expecting to get out of this? If you do the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same result. So ask yourself, sometimes when you find yourself in a situation that stresses you out or really like drains you or doesn't encourage you to like amplify yourself to the next level, to move yourself up, whatever the situation or maybe relationship is, and you're in it and you're thinking to yourself like, this isn't growing me, this isn't making me happy, this isn't adding any value to my life, like, and you ask yourself, why am I still doing this? Like, why am I still talking to this person, doing this activity, working this job, whatever it is? Like, you don't have to either. Like, I just liberated us all, right? And you might be like, Bree, like, did you just figure this out? It was kind of like when I was 18 and I was living in my first apartment and I'm like, I can legitimately eat ice cream for breakfast. I can. The thing about being an adult and having the total freedom to do whatever you want is that just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it, right? So just because you can, shut your mouth and don't voice your opinion or feelings to somebody who constantly hurts yours or doesn't ever take into consideration your perspective on things, just because you can be that person that's like the peacekeeper or the moderator or whatever, doesn't mean you should. Right? Now, I'm not saying like, go like rock the boat in all your relationships. That's not my point at all. I'm just saying, think about things a little bit more in depth. Like I just said, like, does it grow me? Does it make me happy? Does it fill my cup in some way? Does it add value to my life? Does it teach me something? I always have this tug and pull though, because it's like, for me being a woman believing in God, it's like, well, is it just what I want right now or is it what God wants for me? So I think you have to be really open to like your moral compass or whatever it is that like you just know in your gut when something is the right thing and when something's the wrong thing. And when something is just constantly like draining your mental energy. Or for example, if it's a relationship with a person and like your gut flips when that person messages you or whatever, calls you, or like you see their name pop up on social media or something, if that is happening and it's like the gut flipping, like what, guess what? You don't have to engage with them anymore. Haha. delete, right? You don't have to. There is no social standard or no rule of manners saying that you are required to put yourself in situations that drain your energy, that do not grow you as a person, that don't bring out the best in you as a person. There's no social standard that says you have to do that. You don't have to. And so then it's being so sure of the kind of person you want to be, and the way you want to present yourself, the way you want to live your life. What do you want to learn? What do you want to do with yourself? So once you have that kind of idea about who you want to be and where you're going, then then it's easy to sort people who don't promote your growth and people who do. And then you can say, you know what? I love you. God has blessed me with you as a blank sister, cousin, whatever, mother, friend, coworker, any of that. But for my own personal well-being, I need to create this distance. And I so appreciate you understanding that. And maybe you don't even have to say it. You just slowly retreat. And, any other interactions you have are polite. And, you still care about them as a person. You don't wish any harm or ill will on them. But it's just brief, you can't continue to invest energy and planting it in soil that's not fertilized, not going to grow. Does that make sense? So, for example, my family had a really hard time. Some of them still do. And I'm sure if my dad were still alive, it would still be the case because my family had a hard time when I shared with them my big vision for mentoring women to live a better life, to get healthier, whatever it is, like this tribe of women that I'm building and love digging into. My family were just like, you need somebody to shoot your dreams down real quick, like share them with my family. I'm kidding. But it was just hard for them to wrap their mind around a concept that wasn't the norm, wasn't what everybody else is doing, something different. So I learned very quickly not to waste my energy, like to protect those aspirations and to protect those good feelings and those big dreams that I have, and maybe just share little tidbits or whatever, but not to lay it all out so they can just pick it apart and make me feel awful and make me feel like I can't do this and that it's never going to happen for you. And my dad's big thing, like, why don't you just work a real job? And what about your nurse thing? Like, well, what about my nurse thing? Like, my nurse thing stresses me out all the time. I have so many white hairs in my head. Whew. So my point is, you don't have to share that. You don't have to deposit those aspirations and things for people. You get to decide where those limits are. You get to set the boundaries and really essentially kind of create a little safety bubble for yourself. Not that I'm saying to shelter yourself or to close yourself off from family relationships or people or situations even, because we need challenging situations to grow. I'll say that again. We need challenging situations to grow. So if you're not green and growing, you're ripe and rotten, right? But I'm just saying you don't have to always just kind of spill your guts or like wear your heart on your sleeve. Like, you have the right to protect your own energy and your own heart and your own vision and mind. And you get to choose like what is coming in. If people are naysaying your big dream or, whatever big thing you have coming up that you're excited about, if they're just going on and like tearing it down, like, you have the power to say, I really appreciate your viewpoint, but I don't receive that. Like, just try it. And it might sound super corny to you and you're like, oh my God, like, don't say that. Try it, because once those words are spoken and they're there, you know, that little voice in the back of your mind when you're sitting there filling out the application for college or the application for the home loan, whatever it is, and that little voice with whoever it was that said, you can't do that, you're never going to accomplish it, that's not for you, that'll come creeping in. So when somebody says something that doesn't fuel your fire, just say it out loud, like denounce it, speak it out of your existence. Does that make sense? Like rebuke it, if you will. And quite the opposite. So I've learned to graciously accept compliments, and that's why I say, thank you, I received that. And so it goes both ways. Like, yes, I received that. I thank you, that's very nice. Or like, no, thank you. It's like a buffet. Nope, I'm not receiving that, but thanks for offering it. So I have the power to say, no. You know what? No, this isn't growing me. This is not something that I need to, like, this is not shit I need to pack in my already full baggage, right? Like, baggage, we all got it. So I don't need any more of it. The idea as we age is to unload our baggage, like get it out of here, work through your crap, and be able to ultimately like level up, if you will, like evolve into the person you want to be, the kind of person you want to be, the kind of life you want to live. That's the ultimate goal of life, in my opinion. So I don't have to. I don't have to listen to your shit. I don't have to let you hurt my feelings. I don't have to accept your excuses for your shitty behavior as reality. I don't have to do that. And it's awesome. It's awesome. On the drive home, like I wanted to cry. There were a lot of things in my personal life that I'm not quite sure how to share them yet. I'm not quite ready to share them yet in a respectful way, but it just kind of like hit me as I was checking the mail and like plonk, plonk, plonk. You know, I want to just lay on the couch and eat a whole bunch of food because, oh, clearly binge eating is going to help my feelings, right? So I'm like, like, let's digest this. I'm like, well, guess what? The cool thing is that I don't have to. You don't pay my bills. You don't, I owe you nothing. So try it out. Somebody says something shitty to you, like, well, I appreciate, like, you can respect their differing opinion. We all have opinions. We're not always going to see eye to eye on everything, right? Okay, well, I respect you and I thank you for feeling confident enough to share that with me, but I don't receive that. And they might be like, kind of stuck up square answer is that, you know, and just be like, I'm just trying it out for my friend Bree. I'm doing an experiment, whatever. But try it and see how it feels to like release. Some of my friends call it bless and release, and I love it. Like I said a minute ago, like you don't wish harm on anybody. And I think that's a really big mark for me in my emotional maturity, especially since I've quit drinking. Like drunk Bree would just be like off the handle and fighting tooth and nail for why I'm right and why you're wrong and whatever. But it's like, you know, and holding a grudge is where I was going with that. But I don't do that anymore. It's like, you know what? I really wish you the best, but your best and me, like, we should be friends in separate places, maybe. So, try it. Let me know. Let me know if you already have incorporated something like this in your life. Like, what is it you do to kind of, like, put that privacy fence up on your emotions and on your energy? And I hate how hippy-dippy that sounds, but I don't know what else to call it, you know? You can just look at somebody and tell their energy. Like, are you pissed off? Are you discouraged? Are you tired? Are you just, like, generally loving life? And you can just look at them and see it, you know? Protect it. What do you do to create that hedge of protection around your vibes all day long? That's what I'm doing. Journaling. And blessing and releasing. A lot of releasing. Feel it in my shoulders. I don't carry so much stress up there anymore. So you owe it to yourself not to take everybody's opinions of you or opinions of situations. You don't have to accept them all. You deserve to, you know, create a safety zone for yourself. Because if you don't advocate for you, who's going to?